Welcome back, everybody. Derek Sue, your East Oakland advocate. Well, it's Good Friday. It's April 7th, 2023, and the start of Easter weekend. And so, for those of you that are very religious, this is Good Friday. And in a lot of cases, businesses shut down at noontime or allow you PTO to take off for religious reasons. Because at one time I did for a little while, and then it really didn't make that much difference for me. Because all it did was buy me some time to get out of traffic. Well, it didn't work out that way. I ended up in traffic with everybody leaving work at the same time. So anyway, um, it's been very busy since my last vlog, and I don't know, it's just been keeping my head spinning. Oakland, as of this week, as of right now, we are still not recovered from ransomware, and in fact, over 600,000 former and current employees' information, including their home addresses, their social security numbers, driver's licenses, I mean, everything about them has been put on the dark web. And so it's exposed a lot of people to credit fraud, and it's been going crazy. The reports that have been going on, and that's been reported. And the city's really done nothing. And the sad part is that Shang Tao, she knew about these weaknesses, and she can't deny it because she's part of the problem. She was part of the city council that watches those budgets, and she was constantly cutting those budgets or not funding them in a proper way so that equipment and software and personnel could be updated, and this ransomware and being held hostage like Oakland's been done, or what's been done to Oakland for 2 months now. Oakland has not been able to do business, so to speak, and it's affected me because I can't get into any of the housing situations that Oakland offers because the computer systems are down. And then also, Oakland hasn't hired anybody for the homeless administrator's position. And that's one of the things that's holding up a big project over in West Oakland. And as you know, there's a brand new 100 bed shelter out there in West Oakland. I've been trying to get to it, but right now, because of the ransomware, they're not taking people in, even though that the judge has cleared the way for the continued clearing of encampments there on Wood Street. And it's affected uh, out here on East Oakland because we've had trailers and people moving in from West Oakland out here into East Oakland. And in fact, where I used to be is now a trailer sitting over there that the city's not dealing with because of all the personnel issues, the Shang Tao issue. Yeah, if you haven't been following the Shang Tao issue, you really need to get caught up because she's an illegitimate mayor. She also knew about the weaknesses in the data, Oakland data system, that holds all this very important and confidential information. And so, um, what can I say? She shouldn't have been on the ballot to begin with. She didn't qualify. There's an open lawsuit right now by Marlene Sachs uh, contesting the election and all the things that happen and the irregularities and illegal things that actually took place in the dirty politics of Oakland. So stay tuned on that one because uh, this is going to get interesting. But anyway, Oakland is not 100% back from the recovering from the ransomware. At last report, Shang Tao earlier this week said that Oakland is only about 80% restored, and so there's going to start opening some businesses or some of the operations of Oakland that they can, and so I don't know what is open yet because I haven't checked. And then also one of the nice things, hopefully spring has arrived and the atmospheric rivers that we've endured this winter and also this early spring, we've had 17 atmospheric rivers back to back to back to back. And so that's great for California's drought situation because it's pretty much erased all of the drought situation from one end of California to the southern end of California. Droughts are pretty much a thing of the past now. And as the snow melts, we've had record snow melt or snow in the southern Sierras, central Sierras, and then the northern Sierras. So lots of snow and one resort, Mammoth, the ski resort this morning said that they had so much snow, 16 feet in this last event, that they were going to stay open until August. So, folks, if you want summertime summer skiing like you've never seen, Mammoth Mountain. They've already said that they plan on being around and open, keeping their doors open and the lifts going until August. So that's a tremendous amount of snow if you think about it. So California's drought situation is mostly over. It's really good for the bay, the rivers, and all the different tributaries throughout California, flushing everything from the mountains down and then out the Golden Gate and the other rivers that dump into the ocean, such as the Russian River. We have the bay through the Golden Gate, and so many other rivers, and all up and down California that empty and flush a lot of the toxins that have built up over the years of the lack of water, the drought. And so this is going to refresh the fishing. And unfortunately, the side effect from all the rain that and the atmospheric rivers that have hit all of the farming areas of California is going to have a very difficult time meeting the demands of food because California, one of their biggest industries is agriculture. And that means your meats, your poultry, your dairy, your fruits, vegetables, everything. And so a lot of things come out of California. Good for the grape growers this year because there's going to be some really incredible crops of grapes because of the deep soaking that the ground has been able to receive from all the heavy rains this year from these atmospheric rivers. And they haven't seen that in a long time. And so the grapes were very stressed, which made for incredible flavors because that's what they want to do. Just before the picking, they want to stress the grapes, but then the grapes go through a whole season of growing stress. So it made for very different, it's going to make for some very different flavors, let me tell you. I remember in past years when we had something like that, and 3-5 years down the road, those are going to be incredible wines because the sugar content is astronomical. It's going to be off the charts. So this year on the crush, if you go visit the wine country, it's going to be incredible to see all of the wine, the harvest of the grapes coming in. And so the bay has desperately needed a good flushing, and we needed this rain to really push all of those toxins out of the tributaries, the rivers, that end up with the toxins from the farmlands and garbage and everything that comes through. And then here in the Bay, we've had a lot of toxic algae blooms. We have also had that up in the Delta, and so that's because it's so much still water. There hasn't been a real hard flush like what we've just had, and so this is a good thing for the environment. It's going to help restore salmon fishing. This year, salmon fishing is off limits. California salmon fishing is none. It's a zero take this year, so don't get caught salmon fishing outside. I see YouTube showing people outside fishing and crabbing. All I can say is that there's a zero take here in California. You need to adhere to that. Also, one of the good things, I've also been really busy looking at homes, looking at properties, and where I'm looking. You too can also look at properties and be some of the first to look at them. And then also my realtor, he's looking also for me. And so there's stuff that pops up before it hits the MLS. And so he makes some lookovers as he sees them, lets me know if there's something that I might have missed and that I may want to go look at. And so that's where I've been for the last couple of weeks. That's why I haven't been able to really do a whole lot. Weather, and then we had Albert Owens. Remembered a couple of weeks ago, we went over to Matt Horn's over in West Oakland because I was doing a project over there, and we ended up having to call the day because of a pothole monster got Albert's front left wheel. And the folks at Matt Horn, and Matt Horn was great. He treated Albert incredibly well, and even called in some favors that helped Albert. And so anyway, Albert's car got back on the road late that evening. The rim got realigned, fixed, and the tire was repaired. The rim still had a big chunk out of it, but it's an expensive steel rim, but it's working right now. And Albert doesn't have a whole lot of money. He's like myself, retired. He's formerly homeless, and he was one of your mayoral candidates in this past election. And so Albert's a good guy, but like all of us, we're all struggling with everything. And then he has that car and fuel prices. I already told him, I said, we're coming up on the summer months, get ready, because these gas prices are going to take a jump here, because we're going to be switching over to the summer formulation. But first, we have to run out of the winter formulation. And so as the winter formulation starts diminishing and becoming less, because they're not refining winter formulation anymore, and we're simply using up the 90-day supply of winter. And so we're probably nearing the end of that, and here in April, shortly after this weekend, we'll probably start seeing some pretty significant price hikes, and that will stay in place up until Memorial Weekend, which is typical for the refineries, the gas stations, Chevron, Shell, Arco, you name it, for all of them. But anyway, uh, getting back to home prices, this is also why home prices are dropping. And since February, home prices listings, pricing as listings have declined by 4% on average here in Oakland. Simply in Oakland, that's significant, because Oakland is was at one time considered a low-priced city, housing city, because uh, we had a poor population, but that's not the case anymore. And so a lot of people are leaving Oakland, a lot of people are leaving the Bay Area as tech jobs are being uh, uh, consolidated down, and people are losing their jobs, but also they're moving from Oakland or from the Bay Area, from California, because California, we even lost one Senate seat. Uh, and that's significant for the voting population here and getting uh, uh, things that California needs. And so uh, crime is up. You know, crime is hitting everywhere in Oakland, and it's nuts. And I see it around the corner from me. I stay vigilant, keep my head on a swivel when I'm out walking the streets. I have Mama, my big 110-pound American bulldog. Plus I keep pepper spray on me. In fact, I'll show you. I keep one of these in hand, at the ready, and these are quick and easy to use. Uh, this sprays a stream. It doesn't fog. Get the stream version, and all you have to do is lift this, and then your trigger's right on top. Always use your thumb when you go to trigger and push this down. Don't use your index finger. Worst way to use an OC spray. Don't use with a finger. Always use your thumb. It's much more powerful. You maintain grip and control better. And one of these is good for 10 to 12 feet of distance. And it takes a few moments for it to take effect, whether it be on a person or an animal, because I've also used these on attacking dogs that came after me and Mama. I've sprayed them with this, and while it takes a few minutes to disable them, it gives us time, gives me and Mama time to get away, or Mama to take a very positive stand against an attacking dog. And that's what I'm going to be talking about next: how to control attacking dogs. And over my lifetime, I've had a lot of experience with dogs and dog attacks, and even being bitten by dogs. So I'm going to talk about that in my next vlog. So, join me. Be sure to join me on that one. But also, uh, we have so much crime here in Oakland and East Oakland. There's certain areas that these crime gangs are targeting. That Oakland doesn't have enough police officers to protect all of the different businesses and the business zones throughout Oakland. Because I'm talking about the former Walmart in that was in East Oakland, right at Edgewater and Hagenberger Drive. They were there for a while. Right now, there's a few food and beverage places that are still hanging on, and then a big chicken, Cane's fried chicken, moved in there. And folks, the crime shot up because just right around the corner you have In-N-Out Burgers, which is very popular, and people were getting hit there. A, a big name family was over there getting lunch, and their car and all their personal belongings were stolen. And so again, it perpetuates a very negative image of Oakland. So uh, they closed their dining room, and that's Cane's Fried Chicken. They closed their dining room. Uh, Also, American banking system is still unsettled, and things are not looking good for the dollar. And what I mean, uh, we're talking about many countries talking about and organizing a new global monetary system, and these are the BRICS. And who are the BRICS? The BRICS are the countries of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Those are the BRICS countries. And together they have enough power and enough monetary strength because they're going to be backed by something else. Our dollar was only backed by petroleum. It wasn't backed by gold, it wasn't backed by anything else, but by petroleum. And we controlled the petroleum through Saudi Arabia. And it's a big story on that one. I've been doing a lot of research, and it's very scary. And so uh, even Saudi Arabia is having some questions about the strength of the dollar being the world money right now. And so um, if we lose the Saudis, the dollar is pretty much over, folks. And you're going to want gold and silver, platinum in your possession, not on paper, but in your possession, because the dollar is going to drop like an anchor. So hopefully that's some good news for some and bad news for others, unfortunately. But this is Good Friday. Enjoy your Good Friday if you have the afternoon off. If you don't and you're working, I appreciate you working, because it's folks like you that make our economy continue on. So thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.